up, everybody? Welcome back to Breaking Night with BL. We're at a double dime, episode number 20. Can't believe 20 episodes, man. What a ride it's been, man. I hope you're all learning something, because I sure am. I go through all my hard drives at home and I'm coming across pictures and videos and things that I have and people I've been with, and it's been an amazing ride. And trust me, there's way more to go. As always, I want to shout out the homie Swiss Precise in Long Beach. True beast. He's got his own factory out in Long Beach making sick stuff all day, every day. Follow that man, Shark Polanski. As always, my boy Pens, man. One of the best in the business. You gotta love him, man. Shout out my boy Amuse. Found this sick picture of Amuse. And Tef, man. Rest in peace, Tef, man. Truly missed, man. FTR crew. You gotta love it. I want to shout out my boy Breeze. I told y'all he did this album cover for me. I got this music that came out. It dropped on July 12th, actually, for TVs, movies, and commercials. So hopefully that's going to do well. And shout out to Coop. I know I've been saying I'm going to get Coop on the phone for the last couple of weeks, so why don't we just jump right into it? Because I want to know TA7 history, and so do you. Let's just get this man on the phone right now, see if he answers, and we'll get to some questions. Of course, I got to unlock my phone. I told y'all, lock your phone, man. I don't want nobody getting these phone numbers. Come on, man, smarten up. Let's see if he answers. Hello.
Yo, what's up, yo?
I'm looking for Coupe TA7. Where's he at?
Yo, what's up, man?
Nah, man, I'm just chilling, brother. I've been telling you for a minute. I wanted to get you on the phone and talk to these followers and tell them about your history and TA7. And it's a blessing to have you on the phone. I've known you for a long time, and I know you put in a lot of work. So I want to just get into a couple questions, if it's okay with you.
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Well, first, please introduce yourself and your crew and where you're from.
Yo, so I write Coop. My crew is TA7 crew from Woodside, Queens. Talk about 1982. That's when it started. A lot of people don't know I'm the original TA7 press, and the crew was supposed to be like the tightest people to me, the closest ones, all my homies. That's why it's a 7.
Okay.
But that didn't work. I mean, I think like 2 weeks later there was already like 25 people down. So, but yeah, that's how it all started, man. Way back in 1982.
Let me ask you something. Who inspired you to write graffiti?
Alright. Well, you know, like all old school graffiti writing, I started like since we were little looking at graffiti. Caught my attention, like everybody, the colors and how they do it, when did they do it, all that. But I got inspired by different ways, because I got inspired by people that I knew, like from around my way.
Okay.
And inspired by people that I didn't know at all. You know, different ways. Like I would by like people that I knew. I was inspired, like rest in peace Spec 5. I'm a homie Spec 5 or
Wow.
SP 5. He had a sick talent, man. He could draw, and his partner Tag, they were sick duo, bro. They did a lot of good work. Like I was inspired by an old friend of mine, KD. He had a talent also, and TA7 crew member also Sketch, and even not last but least, my homeboy Breeze.
Nice.
Breeze had super talent, bro. I mean, I'm talking about people that right now, with the things they did then in the 80s, they could still rock it now and still look good, you know? They were like ahead of the time. They were really skilled kids, man. They were really good.
How did you meet Breeze? Because, you know, I know Breeze a long time too, and I know you were homies with him long before I met Breeze, and he used to talk about you all the time, and I actually met you in Sunnyside way back in the day when we used to ride BMX bikes. How did you meet him?
Well, Breeze, his dad, his mom and dad had a grocery store a block away from my school, and between my school and my house. And I used to go in there all the time and buy candy. And one time, I saw him there. He's like, "Yo, you new around here?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, what's up?" That's how we started. Yeah. He got me into BMX too, because I didn't really care about bikes until Breeze came around with the bikes, man. He do tricks, and he got us all into bikes, and we ride everywhere to Manhattan. We would go to Coney Island. We would go Rockaway. We would go everywhere. We were just kids, but BMX, crazy doing miles like crazy. You went too. I remember you used to go with us.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell 6 stories of Breeze, man. He was a true BMX legend. He was signed by General Bikes, and I went everywhere with him too, just like you. And he would go places and do these tricks that people would be amazed.
Yeah, I remember we used to go to one of his homeboys' house. He had a half pipe in the back of his house, in the yard. That was like 10 feet high, and Breeze would go off of that, like 15 feet off of that. Yo, he had skills, man.
Yeah. Yes, he definitely did. A lot of people don't know Breeze was in a Foot Locker commercial.
Yeah. He was sponsored different magazines, covers, and everything.
Oh yeah, he was doing tricks in the park one day, and somebody approached him and was like, "Hey, you want to do some of these tricks? Can we film you?" And they put him in a Foot Locker commercial.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was the days, man. So what was Sunnyside like back then in the day? And tell me more about the crew and who was down and the people you ran into.
All right, so let's say I'll tell you the original 7. The original 7 was me, my brother Noe, FK, which was he used to write FKAY.
Okay.
Breeze, my boy Sites, he used to write SYTES. There was Cream and Rel. Those are the original 7.
Wow.
Now I'll tell you on which side. I went to school. I'm originally from Brooklyn. When I moved to Queens, I was a little kid, and I started on PS 189. I was in 4th grade.
Okay.
And my first graffiti partner, I met him right there in 4th grade, which is FK.
Wow.
He's not even like a best friend. He's like I used to say, a brother, like from another mother. He's a brother and shit. And we met there, and from there in like 80, more or less 80, I met Breeze, and we was how can I say, we were really a crew already, because we used to breakdance in the 80s.
Wow.
We wasn't TA7, but we was like a crew already, because we used to be in a crew called Young City Rockers. We used to breakdance, and the majority of that crew, breakdancing crew, the majority became TA7.
Wow.
Yeah. So I know FK like from 4th grade, and everybody else from the 80s.
Wow. I know a lot of people ask, man, they were always curious about TA7 and where you guys were from and kind of other people you hung out with in the neighborhoods just besides.
Yeah, I mean, we were like, TA7 was like originally like 48 and 47, 46 and 45th Street, but we were like a comfortable zone was like from 37th Street, where Clay and Sketch used to live, and we ran all the way to 69th Street. So we were comfortable all that area right there.
Wow.
We were spread in all that area. And we used to hang out like on 125, the junior high school 125. We used to hang out on 46th Street. And right there, I remember Ezek, Danny Diallo used to hang out with us. We used to go down a lot. He used to go down with us too. I remember Ken from Astoria. Ken 357, he used to hang out with us too. Like after school cantors. Yeah, man. It was a good time, bro.
Wow. A lot of people don't realize how connected people were to different riders and crews and neighborhoods because we all had a lot of stuff in common. And we would meet people and be introduced to certain people. And a lot of friendships were formed. A lot of crews were formed. And it was a glorious time in graffiti, man, let me tell you.
Yeah. I think it was the greatest times, man. I mean, there was no worries. I mean, like it's like I used to always say, we should go on BMX bikes, not dirt bikes with no gears, just regular BMX. We would drive, I mean, a big posse, go down to Manhattan, wherever, with no money, no water, nothing, just break out. That's how we used to do it.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy. Yo, I remember, I'm talking about times before even the beepers. No cell phones, no beepers. I remember we used to, like when Breach used to come around with the boys, there was no phone, so somebody would stand in the corner or go under the window and they would do a whistle. They'd be like, yo, and all the homies would come down, bro. Like that's how we used to call each other.
Oh man.
That's wild.
Wow.
Yeah. there was no beepers, nothing. You know, it's like when we used to fight too. We used to call each other just like that. You stand in the corner, you just do the whistle, and everybody used to come out automatic. That was wild.
Wow. Man. What have you been up to lately? Like, what have you been doing with yourself? You're still painting? You still doing anything?
Yeah, I still do a scribble. I take my tags. I still do some. I store my stickers. I think I'll do graffiti always for the rest of my life. This the only hobby I cannot, get rid of, bro. The only one. Every time I get a chance, if I can cut a tag, I'll do it.
Wow.
That's the way it is, man. TSM for life.
No, that's it, man. I knew some of the history from being around Breeze and seeing you all up. Because I remember I used to go on, I think it was the Q38 from Ridgewood, used to go all the way past Sunnyside into Woodside, and it would pass, like Aviation and all those schools over there. And there was a lot of graph on those because there was like deserted blocks back there.
Yeah, that's right. They had a lot of factories over there by Queensville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing of course Visa and Ross.
Yes.
And a lot of like dudes like that up over there, man. So I know there's a lot of history in those parts of Queens.
Yeah, definitely.
Nah, that's what's up, man. I mean, it's important people know, man, and I try to get as many people on the phone as possible because it isn't always just about BL's opinion. They love to hear from other people and what they've been through.
Yeah.
And it's important that you share your story, because...
Yeah, it's like I say, the graph right now, it's not the same anymore. I mean, compare. Like I always say, you right now you see in the internet, you can buy caps, you can buy anything. You mail it to your house. You see the kids doing graffiti nowadays, but with dad and mom's credit card buying ink, we didn't buy none of that. We had no money. We had to rack everything.
This is true story, man.
Just to write graffiti was like a big mission because you had to do a whole bunch of things before you went out writing.
Yeah, you had to either rack it or rob it or...
Yeah, make your own mops. Now, we wasn't buying no fancy markers.
Mm-hmm.
We were making our own mops, with the spool eraser and the band roll-on, that purple ink from Key Food,
Oh, man. I know all about that, man. If you didn't create it and make it, and to have it, you didn't have nothing. Like to do train insides, the only markers were like pilot markers.
Yeah, pilots, pentels.
Yep. And other than that, you got to make your own, right?
Yeah.
No, that's what's up.
NYC mops. That's what we used to write with.
Yeah. The original drippy mops.
Yeah. With you have to wait till your deodorant finish, or rack one, and rack eraser from school, and that purple ink from the store, the supermarket. You had your shit already right there.
Wow, this is so true, man. You're bringing back sick memories.
Yeah, I remember cutting class just to make my mops and go tagging. Yeah, that was the shit.
I know we were talking the other day, and you were telling me the story on how when you guys used to posse up and ride the bikes, we didn't have money for nothing, but we used to ride, because I used to do, obviously Breeze learned it from doing it with you guys, but when we used to posse up in Middle Village by his house in Ridgewood, Glendale, we would go down Queens Boulevard to head to the city, and we would just ride by fruit stands, like snatching fruit and snatching drinks, and just keep it moving, keep it moving.
Yeah, we didn't have no money. When we got hungry, that's what we used to do. We used to, I used to do a lot with Rel, because Rel was big and buff, and I was little, so he used to ride me in the city and just drive by the fruit stand and grab everything you can, just keep on going. That was the way we used to eat.
That's right. And there was, in those days, there was a fruit stand on every corner, so you would just, you were snatching stuff like crazy.
They already knew us. They would see us and run outside.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. But that was a good time, man. I love those times. They're the best times of my life. I don't think there's gonna be ever better times than those days, bro.
Nah, with cameras everywhere now, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
I know I was telling you the story when we used to get into the city, we used to go into Central Park, and there'd be like 10, 15 of us on bikes, and we would go up to the hot dog vendors.
Yeah. I want a hot dog. You gonna pay my hot dog? Yeah.
Yeah, we would just play it off like I'm gonna reach in my pocket, like, yo, I'm paying, man, get whatever you want. You know, you, Breeze, everybody, you know, our boy my boy Jimmy Keep, you know, all these dudes that we used to roll with, you know, I was like, yeah, grab whatever you want, man. You want onions on there, you want mustard, relish, what do you want? And then at the very end, we all just take off on our bikes.
Yo, that man, poor man wasn't gonna chase after you and leave his hot dog stand. Yo, he lost like more than $20 on hot dogs right there.
Yo, and again, they didn't have phones or nothing. So we would just ride to the other side of the park and hit somebody else.
Yeah.
And then it started to get around that, you know, like, yo, be careful, these guys on bikes are rolling up and jacking us for hot dogs.
You gotta pay up.
Oh man, dude, you're bringing back sick memories, man.
You couldn't do none of that now because they would use a phone. Yo, you know, it's right now, yeah, like you said, there's phones, cameras everywhere.
Oh yeah, all the vendors in Central Park now, they got like radios to get people to bring them ice and more hot dogs or drinks.
Yeah.
So they definitely radio ahead and be like, watch out for these 5 maniacs on BMX bikes.
Crazy.
Different time now, Coop, man. Different times.
The Amazing Seven, yo, the Amazing Seven, or the Artistic Seven. Those are like the two names that I thought of for the crew.
Right.
And I guess the majority of the time it's like that. It's stuck with those two.
Wow.
Yeah, my boy Claim, when I started the crew, my boy Claim was starting his own crew as well, and his was a CLC.
Okay.
So we started rocking TA7 CLC. So I was like, yo, Clay, I want you down with my crew. He's like, yeah, all right. But remember, we're supposed to be on the 7. So, but the thing is, after a while, like CLC, like people just dropped and we were stuck with the TA7.
Wow.
It should have been like TA70, I guess, or something like that.
TA7000, kid.
Yeah. It's funny, man, but that's the real truth about the TA7.
Wow, man. I love it, man. People need to know this stuff, man.
Yeah, man, we was always hanging out every day, you know.
Wow.
After a while, like we had some of us went to LIC, some of us went to Bryant. We were separated, but we was always there together at Woodside and hanging out, having a good time like kids, bro. Remember, we was only like 12 years old.
Wow.
When TA7 started, I was 12 years old, to tell you the truth.
Jesus.
Yeah, man. Long time.
Yeah, well, nowadays 12-year-olds are playing on their fucking computers and their tablets, and they have no idea what we used to have to go through to even get stuff like this done.
That's why they play PlayStation.
Unbelievable, man. It's a different world and different times now.
Yeah. It's true.
Yo, well, before I let you go, you got any shout outs? Anybody you want to shout out?
So I want to shout out my homeboy FK. He's been there forever, you know. That's the brother from another mother, man. Breeze, same, like the whole crew. Sites, the original 7, Noe,
Okay.
Rel, Claim, Sites, and all of you, you know. And I also want to congratulate you with episodes, man. This breaking night is like you're killing it with this, bro. Honestly.
No, I appreciate it, man. I'm just.
You're doing an excellent job, man.
No, I thank you, man.
I want to shout out RD too. RD doing a great job. You guys, if it wasn't for you guys, I don't know, because nobody knows. Like you guys know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you know you got to kind of go through it to know what you're talking about, and I love RD just as much because he has stories and opinions like anybody else, and I know in some of my earlier episodes he's commented that he would love to hear TA7 history, so shout out RD for sure, man.
Yeah. And everybody, I want to shout out everybody, you know, that watches your program and everything. You know, TA7 crew, WDD for life, bro.
Nah, of course, brother. This is what's great, man. I haven't seen or talked to you in years, and out of the blue, I see you commented on my show, and I was like, how the fuck did Coop find my show?
Yeah, that was like a coincidence, man. I don't know. I was like, wow, wait. I was like, you was older, you know? I was like, I wasn't even sure until I commented and you said, oh shit. I said, that's right, man. That's why we got back in contact.
Absolutely, man. It's always great to reconnect with people, man, from your past. And like I say now, we're not dead yet. We have a lot of future ahead of us, man.
And you had asked me before, like people that motivate me. I told you about the people from my neighborhood. But motivation, I'll tell you one big one, like Easy. I always saw him up all the time with his iconic fat black cap.
Oh yeah.
I remember always Min and E. DJ, I remember Bones, P13, John, all those people who were like motivated me in a lot of ways. And like these two guys that I see, they watch your show, I always looked up to them because I love their throw-ups and the way they used to write. That, you know who it is? It's KP and AT, WR crew.
Oh yeah.
Yo, when I saw that in your show, I freaked out. You know, I looked up to these two dudes, bro, because I love their throw-ups. The KP had this iconic throw-up, the K and 18 style also. Yo, real dudes, bro, right there.
Yo, man, they inspired me and Doro too, man. I agree with you 1,000,000%, man. AT's a good dude. I speak to AT every now and then. Shout out to AT, man.
Bro, those are real true vandals, man.
That's a true story, and AT's still at it now. If you follow AT online, he's still up there doing things.
Yeah. I see him up. I see him commenting and everything. Like, wow, that's really good, bro.
Nah, that's what's up.
Yeah, I got respect for them.
Yeah, you and me both, man. They're a big part of history. They were a great team, just like Jazz and Easy. You're talking about Easy. I know Easy. I've interviewed him before. He's a great dude. He's a true vandal.
Yeah.
And you gotta love that, man. These people never change.
Yeah, it's been up forever, man. And I can't remember. It's been up everywhere.
It's a true story, man. All right, Coop. I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate you for your contribution to graffiti, just like everybody else would love to say.
Yeah,
and you know,
man, keep up the good work, bro.
I appreciate you, brother. Trust me, you have no idea what it means to me, man.
Nothing but love, bro, for you.
Thank you, Coop. We're definitely gonna be in touch. I'll give you a shout during the week. We'll catch up. Maybe in another couple of episodes, I'll get you and Breeze on the phone, and you guys could just swap stories all day.
That would be good. Breeze got a lot of memories. He remembers everything, like names and places. That would be great. No,
absolutely. That's important, man. Because Breeze was a big part of my childhood. Breeze introduced me to a lot of people that helped elevate me in graffiti and crews I hung out with. And Breeze is a nasty graffiti writer. He's a nasty producer with music, and he's an unbelievable BMX rider.
He's like, it's a different breed.
No, this is true, man.
Breeze got mad talent, and you know he doesn't even know it.
Yeah, well, he knows it. He's been practicing doing these. I used to sit in the park with Breeze for hours and hours and hours, just smoking blunts and watching him practice tricks over and over and over and over.
Yeah, he was really good in those bikes, man. He got me into that. You know, he taught me a couple of tricks, but I wasn't, never like him, man. He was crazy.
Yeah, well, when we get Breeze on the phone, we're going to talk about all the bike stores we used to rob with DEK and everybody.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, I rock all my bikes. I just remember buying one. I racked them all. We used to rack like 2 or 3 bikes and make out of 3 make one, so like you wouldn't recognize it.
Uh-huh.
That's what we do. 10, 11 years old, that's what we used to do.
Wow.
Wow.
That's the best, man.
when Breeze came around, that's what we used to do. And I used to have a different bike all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. The glory days, man. Well, at least we got the memories, right? You know, it's like we don't need the photos when you got stuff put away in your head and you remember these things, and I live them all the time. There's many times I'm home just maybe watching a movie, or I'm, you know, walking down the beach, or I'm in my car smoking, and I reminisce over all these things, and to me it's priceless.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I was like, I gotta share these stories with people so they understand what we used to have to go through to write Graph. To get our name up, it was never easy.
No, it wasn't. It was a mission just to go riding. You have to go run like to the supermarket and get like the fat caps, like from the Niagara and the Easy Off and all that. Because like I said, we didn't have no fat caps. We had to get it like that.
Yeah, I told you that we
have to wrap your paint too.
I used to go into a ton of stores with DEK, and we used to take the Kitchen Magics. Those were the original orange middles.
Huh?
Man.
I used to like the little where I used to work, I used to write the little testers. The little testers, they already came with the fat caps.
Wow.
Yeah, and back in the day, those little testers, the cap was really nice. So
yeah, man.
I mean, it's like everything else. I mean, now people like just buy the stuff, buy everything. It's like, what? It's no fun. I mean,
yeah, well, we started a revolution, and now these companies are making money off selling us caps.
Yeah, they sell everything.
Yeah, well, we should get free packs from these people. That's what we should be getting.
I know, right?
They owe us.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, Coop, man. I appreciate your time, brother. I appreciate you talking to the listeners. I'm sure they're definitely excited to hear your side of the story.
Yeah, I'm glad you called and we talked a little, and we could do some other time. There's a lot of stuff to talk about.
Absolutely. Save it for the next time we get Breeze on the phone. I know that's going to be a good one.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coop, man. You stay well. Take care of your family. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, you too, Bill.
All right. Peace, my brother.
All right.
All right. Goodbye. Man, Coupe TA7. Shout out everybody in TA7. That's the biggest, truest story ever, man. Queens history at its finest. But getting into other topics, you all ever seen the documentary Rolling Like Thunder? It was on Showtime. It was all about freight train graffiti in America. Of course, shout out my buddy Bobby, RB, Maniac Vandal, my boy Vinny, 3YB, and of course Ichabod. All 3 of them were in that documentary. And you know, I told you all before, Bobby's a very dear friend of mine. I speak to Bobby 2-3 times a day. You know, he calls to check on me, I call to check on him. And that's what friends do. Check up on your friends, man. Go through your phone, give somebody a holler. But one specific day, Bobby called me up and he told me that he's going out, as we say, and he's taking Vinny with him. And so I was like, that's pretty sick. I love that. And he asked me, he goes, you have any ideas? So I thought about it for a second, and I said, you know what? Bobby, Vinny, I said, you going with Vinny? You guys gonna do stuff together? He was like, yeah. I says, well, I have a picture from the original trains in the 80s of a saint and a ghost. And it was saint and ghost spelled backwards. So in other words, Saint and Ghost shared the T at the very end of their name. And it was a treat. Not many people knew about that or what the hell was going on, but that was a big step forward for graffiti. Ghost is the best at doing backwards letters, upside down, all this other stuff. So I said to Bobby, I says, Bobby, to honor Saint and Ghost, why don't you and Vinny do a Vinny, and then you could spell your Bobby backwards. So VINNY BBOB. And Bobby's like, wow, you know what? I'm gonna see if we could do that. So lo and behold, they went out that night, they did their thing, and I never saw the train, I never really caught it. And lo and behold, they used the picture in Rolling Like Thunder. And I saw that picture, and to me, I kind of laughed to myself that, wow, I'm glad I told them to do that, because look at where it ended up. It ended up in a freight documentary. And of course, I'm out by me in Connecticut, you know, I troll around painting and I take pictures, and one day I was driving around and I saw the train. Here's a super clear picture of that Vinny and Bobby. Pure history right there. That is a super treat. For people that don't know, when you see that, that's where that comes from. The Saint and the Ghost, and Vinny and Bobby. Because Vinny and Bobby have been around since the 60s and 70s. And Saint and Ghost have been around in the 80s, into the 90s and 2000s, and even now. You see Saint, FS up on the freights. A lot of these people haven't gone nowhere. But getting back to Bobby, a lot of people probably just don't have no idea about the history. And I've mentioned it before on my show. Before Bobby wrote Bobby, he wrote the Sundance Kid. And he used to write on the LIE and some highways and trains. And through being friends with Bobby, I found something out, and I actually asked his permission. Is it okay if I tell everybody this story? The original King Kong movie. The original King Kong. What was it, 1976, 1977 when they shot it? This is crazy. There's a scene when King Kong breaks away from the hold that he's in, because, you know, everybody's taking pictures of him. He's all latched up. He breaks out of it, and he starts running, and he's destroying the elevated train. There's a shot on the train that he's destroying, and if you look really close at the train, there's a Bob. B-O-B. That's Bobby. Whether they used the train that he was up on, or whether Hollywood copied it and emulated it, it didn't matter. The point was, they recognized graffiti and they wanted everything in its pure art form, and that's what they did. They used the Bob right here. Here's a picture of it. Is that not sick history? I mean, I'm sure now when you see a Bobby or an RB, you're gonna think a little differently about this man. This guy's been paying dues more than anybody. And to me, he's a friend of mine. I love painting with the guy. He's a genius. And he's a good friend, which is more important. So shout out to you, Bobby. You're a true gentleman, and it's important that people know you're just not some freight rider from the last 10, 15 years. Shout out Billy Org, your boy, man. I wish I would have got to meet Billy, because like you said, we both would have been attacking you and abusing you like crazy. Much respect, man. I also want to give a shout out to boy Marco. My boy Marco, SAEZ. SAEZ is somebody I met a long time ago when I was doing music, and Slash introduced me to him. And I remember one specific time, I took the train to the city. I went to go meet Marco, and he pulled up to me in a Range Rover, and I gave him one of my demos when I was rapping. And at the time, he told me he knows Young Z from The Outsiders, who was down with Eminem, with D12, and the Fugees, and all these big groups. So he set me up, he got me in touch with Young Z, and me and my boy Jack, we got in the car, we went to Newark, New Jersey to go meet Young Z at his studio. Mind you, Newark, the hood. It was like the heyday of Brownsville meets Bed-Stuy meets the South Bronx. Me and Jack, two white boys driving into the hood, We park the car, I get out, I find the address, I go walking up, and who's sitting on the stoop? Raw Digger. At the time, that was his girl. I don't know if they're still together, don't quote me, but the second I walk up, I recognized her, and she kind of looked at me and my boy like we were cops. And I was like, hi, how you doing? I said, is Young Z here? And she's like, yeah, he's downstairs in the studio, just knock on the door. I was like, how you doing? I said, no, I'm Johnny Walker, this is Jack Daniels. She's like, oh, I love the names. I go down the stairs, I knock on this metal door. All of a sudden, a slit opens, like a drug spot. This thing opens, it's like, hello? I'm like, yeah, is Young Z here? He's like, who are you? I was like, I'm Johnny Walker, this is Jack Daniels, I'm supposed to be meeting him. And he closes the thing on me. I look at Jack, Jack looks at me, I'm standing there for a minute, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? I knock on the door again. He opens up the thing. I'm like, yo, is Young Z here? I said, my boy Marco sent me here to come meet him. Oh, hold on. He unlatches the door, he opens the door, I look inside, and him and like 2 or 3 of his friends are on the floor, on their knees, like this. Like we're 2 police officers. I looked at Jack, I started laughing my ass off. And he got up and he was like, yo, what's up, man? Yeah, Marco told me you were coming. And I was like, look how crazy you guys are. So we hung out, we smoked some weed, we played him some joints. And that was an unbelievable time. Just what you go through to get into the business in those days. And Marco used to work for Regis and Kelly. He did a segment with Jack Nicholson on it, and he used one of my tracks on the show, and I was completely grateful. And for a little while, he kept telling me he wants to get JS1 on the show. He wants to get JS1 on the show. They've never had a DJ before. I gotta get JS1 on the show. So I asked Marco, man, I broke his balls. When are you gonna do it? When are you gonna do it? He finally pitched it to the show. They bring JS1 on the show. Go on YouTube and search for DJ JS1, Regis and Kelly. He went there doing his thing, tricks. He's doing tricks and tricks. And he brings Regis and Kelly over, he starts talking about it, and he's performing with them. It's comical, you gotta watch it, man. Big part of hip hop history. The first time ever having a DJ on Regis and Kelly. Before then, a lot of people didn't even know what the hell was going on with things. Shout out JS1. Germs is a beast, man. What else we got here? Let's go through some treats here. I got this one treat I want to show y'all. This to me this is everything. Not only something that I love and appreciate, but I was lucky and blessed to get this in my collection. I know I talked about it before, but canvas made by Cap. Look at this thing. Dated, signed, and everything. Cap, man. True Bronx graffiti history, man. Cap doesn't get half the props he does. I know people love to talk shit. Oh, you're a toy, you went over people. Trust me, if he was still out painting right now, he'd be going over your ass too. Oh, look at this, another thing he gave me. A print of a train. I saved this stuff. This is never gonna get used. To me, this is true graffiti history, man. You gotta love it. And I'll show you something else a little quick before I go. Shout out to DESA. And I want to give a shout out to DEK VIC crew. I told DEK I had these pictures. I got a whole stack of pictures of all DEK on the train. And if you look at these, the sickest treat is that these are original photos, and on every single one of them on the back, DESA signed and wrote where it was and what it is. Dexter, Bushwick. Look at that. DEK. DEK, Bushwick. Look at that. AG and DEK piece. Just treats beyond treats. Johnson Avenue, back in the day. deck tag. DESA. Look at this. DEK, Mag, and TM. Rest in peace, Mag, man. And shout out to TM and LE, man. When I was a kid, Timmy and Jason were good friends of mine, man. These guys did a lot of work, man. Sick, sick memories. There you go. No, DEK, Mag, TM, DESA. I mean, these are just super treats. I can go through this whole stack, man. We could be here all day. But I just wanted to share a little bit with you. I promised DEK I was going to send these to him, and these are all going to the rightful owner. Because this is pure graffiti history. DEK was a beast. DEK was out here killing shit like you wouldn't believe it. So, shout out DEK. But thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to Coop for the information. I'll be back next week with episode number 21, man. Y'all keep doing your thing. Props to you and yours. We'll talk soon. Peace. Supreme JA shirt. You gotta love it. If you're gonna go with something, you go with the best. By far, JA, one of the most sickest vandals of all time. Fuck your opinion. See you next week.